Hey everybody, welcome to KTSE Sports Talk. I'm your host, Justin P. KTES stands for Keep That Same Energy. This is a channel where we talk about all major sports, NFL, NBA, MLB, NCAA, NHL, you name it. So once this video is started, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button and become a member of the channel. There's a lot of good stuff we're going to talk about. So the NFL playoffs are now set. We have the Ravens versus the Titans, which is I'm a Ravens fan, you clearly see. You have the Colts versus the Bills, Browns versus the Ravens. On the NFC, you got the Saints versus Bears. You got the Bucks versus Washington football team. And you had who else? Oh, and the Rams and Seahawks. So yeah, so playoffs are set in stone. You have games on Saturday and games on Sunday. So I'm gonna start with the Ravens since I'm a Raven fan. We finally in. We punched our ticket. It wasn't easy dealing with COVID and half the team being on COVID reserve, losing 4 out of 5 games at the start, 5-2. Lamar going on COVID. He missed the second Steelers game, so we had to fight and crawl our way into the postseason. It wasn't easy. But that's when it seems like we play our best football, when we all backs against the wall. 'Cause last year we were a 14-2 team, beating the brakes off everybody, scoring 30-something points a game, then turn around, first playoff game, play the Titans. And they sent us home, beat us pretty badly too, 28-12. I was at that game, I remember vividly. So now, we're on the road. We're the underdog this time. We got to play the Titans again, who didn't beat us again this season. I think week 10 or 11, to 30-24. We were up in that game 21-10, controlling the game, playing good defense. But then second half they adjusted to us and started making stops. Derrick Henry in the fourth quarter and overtime, man, he just was a man possessed. He could not go down. He got the walk-off touchdown, to win the game overtime. So, but that whole game started, with Malcolm Butler and the guys standing on top of the shield, taunting and talking smack, and Harbaugh went over there to defend the shield, which he should. And he shouldn't have been out there by himself. I know it was reported that everybody was in the locker room at that time. So it was a little late. It was a little somewhat sideway bravery on the Titans' behalf, but we still got to defend our home turf at all times, and not have the head coach out there by himself. So as you know, we took care of the Bengals today in a great fashion. I expected nothing less. I know they beat us in 2017 to get to the South and get the playoff, but total different team. No Dean Pease calling no prevent. We don't have Flacco no more. Love Flacco to death, but there's a whole new team. Lamar is like what 6-5-0, 6-0 versus the Bengals. So I had no doubt in my mind that we were going to beat them, especially without no Joe Burrow and Mike Daniels. I know they wasn't at full strength, so I knew Brandon Allen wasn't going to beat us. Although he beat the Steelers and he beat the Texans, he put on some two impressive games. So yeah, with the fifth seed, the Tennessee's the fourth. So this matchup for Sunday's game is going to be pretty pivotal. It's going to come down to who turns the ball over the less, who's established the run game first. As you know, we are number one ranked rushing attack. With Lamar getting 1,000 yards, J.K. getting over 600, Gus getting over 600. Then you have the Titans, their rushing attack with Derrick Henry. He has 2,000 yards. He's like the 7th or 8th running back in NFL history to have a 2,000 yard season. So it's going to come down to whose strength outdo the other team's strength. But the thing I like in our favor, first time we played them, Brandon Williams didn't play. Excuse me. Derek Wolf played, but he still was coming off an injury. No Calais Campbell. We got all our horses back, so now we'll be prepared for seeing the Titans for the third time in less than a year. That's going to play a part in our favor. Plus, because they're going to be overconfident. Yeah, we beat them guys twice already. We sent them home in the playoffs, and we went in there and beat them again. So they're going to come in with a little cockiness, and they rightfully should. They won the last 2 games, but I think Dean Pease and Greg Roman are going to say their best stuff for the playoffs. He's going to call some blitzes we didn't see all year. I think Greg Roman's going to call some stuff we haven't seen all year, some jet sweeps, some reverses, take more shots down the field. But I think all in all, he's going to stick to the run game and just use different variations of the run game, motions and stuff like that. Going more 2, 3 tight end sets to match, to match the personnel on the defensive line. Then Lamar is always a threat, run or pass, so he's going to have defenses up all night. Because if you play sit back, play zone, he can pick you apart. If you sit back and play man, he can pick you apart. And if you turn your back to him, he can take off and get a first down. So that game, like I said, it's going to come down to a lot of things. Marcus Peters, he's going to have to hold his own. He can't be sitting there getting penalties, missing tackles on third down. Because the first time we played them, he actually had a Corey Davis, I think it was. It was either A.J. Brown. It was A.J. Brown, I'm sorry. He had them stopped on third down, which would have made them kick 3. They ended up scoring a touchdown on that play. It was him, Chuck Clark, Patrick Quinn, a couple other guys who missed the tackle. He ended up scoring. We hope if he makes that tackle, they take 3, so that's 4 less points. Instead of it being 24-20, we win the game 24 up. It'd be 24-20. So we wouldn't even go to overtime. One for that. Then the Lamar interception, where he threw it to Devin Duvernay, he got it lost in the air, and it ended up being an interception. All he had to do was bat the ball down. That's one thing. Golden rule of football: if you can't catch it, don't let nobody else catch it. Offense and defense. So he's supposed to turn into a defensive back on that. But I get it. He's young. He's still learning the offense. He's still, feeling his way in there. They're using him a little bit more, which is good. He had a nice little end around today, just we did. They for about 15, 20 yards. So it's just stuff like that. We need to see more creativity on offense. 3, 4 receiver sets. Have Dez Bryant lined up in the slot. Andrews flanked out wide. Because then once we get into the red zone, you toss it up them. Andrews, who's 6'6", nobody's gonna jump with him like how we should do with Todd Heap, Dennis Pitta, all those tight ends like that. Flex him out, throw it up, and let him make a play on the ball. So, but all in all, the second half of the season has been really good, man. The offense has been clicking. They're scoring 30-something points a game, rushing for over 200 yards a game. Defense been pretty good. Haven't allowed over 20 points. I know it was the Cowboys, Browns, the only game they gave up over 30 was the Browns game. That was a shootout. So, other than that, every other game nobody cracked 20. So, all in all, both sides of the ball been holding their own for the most part. The coaching errors have seemed, be getting less and less each week. There's still a few boneheaded, calls or challenges that they don't do. But hey, gotta take the good with the bad. So, like I said, and it's gonna come down to the interior play. Who wants it more, our offensive line versus their defensive line? Tennessee is not really all that great this year defensively. I think some of that because Dean Pease retired, a long-term great defensive mind who was loved here in Baltimore, helped us win a Super Bowl. He had his, he helped New England get to a Super Bowl with a 10-0 record, but they ended up losing to the Giants. But he's a very good defensive coordinator, that was kind of a big blow. So it's going to come out, and then on the vice versa, our defensive line versus their offensive line. If we can control Derrick Henry and keep him in check, I like our chances. And force Tannehill to beat us with his arm. Not saying that he can't, because he's a capable passer of the football. But that offense.